And welcome back to us eating breakfast.
Yes, and welcome back to the lunch hour. My name is Don Knotts, and
And my name is the awesomely amazing. I forgot who I am.
Extra thick.
Yep,
dude over here.
exactly.
Anyway.
Hey guys, what's going on?
No, guys, my name is not Don Knotts. I'm not the famous. Wait, Don Knotts isn't that the famous news guy or whatever?
I thought so.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not
No,
the
he's
famous
not
news
Don
guy.
Knotts.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
not Don
not.
Knotts.
Yeah, I'm not. We are back with another D&A Studios
Extras episode,
where everything
is
Extra thick.
with content.
Yes, and it might even get a little bit
Toasty.
Exactly.
sometimes. So, dude, do you want to do our introductions?
Of course we do. So guys,
So I guess I should introduce who I'm holding here. Yes, guys, this is Goddess Hestia.
she's the Bestia.
Of course. Yeah, so if you didn't get a clue as to what our episode might be about today, you just got one right here. Anyway, so yeah, Donnie, let's do our introductions.
Of course. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know us by now, and,
Which you should.
Hopefully you should.
Yeah.
This is Mr. Aaron Goldman, a.k.a.
gosh.
Mr. Available, a.k.a. Mr. 24/7 Junior Hef.
Oh gosh, you do know, Dante, that I'm not the only one who's available. You are also available. So yes, my name is A. Goldman, and yes, I have been nicknamed Junior Hef at some point. But yes, that is who I am. And this over here, as I like to call him, is Mr.
Extra thick.
Kind of like these
course.
episodes. And,
Yeah, apparently.
and he goes by DJ Lewis or Dante.
Or Dante Lewis,
Yeah.
or whatever works for you guys.
So again, my name is Aaron,
And Dante DJ
Dante,
Lewis.
yeah.
So those are the
yes,
introductions.
Yes, that is us, and we are your host. And no, I'm not Venom, but I might be Goku this time. Dante, cue the Kamehameha.
Oh, don't worry, dude. I got you covered. Or better yet, you need to power up. So
Okay. Yeah.
now you can
No,
launch your
no,
Kamehameha.
here, move the microphone so I don't Kamehameha the mic. Man.
How do you like that for an introduction?
Yeah, really. For all you Dragon Ball fans and Akira Toriyama out there, that is your little Kamehameha.
That's a little Dragon Ball segment.
Yeah, a
we got
little
going
Dragon
on.
Ball for
Yeah,
you.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
But today, it's Miss Hestia's day.
Yes, today is Goddess Hestia's Day. So we are going to be talking about... Dante, tell everybody what the topic is, because it's one of my favorite shows to talk about.
It is, actually.
So...
Actually, dude, Danmachi is like one of your all-time favorite anime titles.
It
pretty
is.
much.
So yeah, for some reason, the adventure story for Danmachi really got me when I started watching it. I don't know why, but the story for Danmachi just really pulled me in.
Yeah, it was something different.
And so I've been following it ever since then. And the characters, the story, the writing for the show is actually very well done. And even the movie was really good.
Yep.
So yeah, it's something that kind of pulled me in. I didn't think I'd ever get into adventure anime, but this particular one, and usually I try not to watch too many adventure anime because sometimes they're not always good, you know.
No,
This
it
particular one
depends
got
on
me
which
though.
one.
Yeah, this
Oh,
one
yeah.
got me. So I did
But
so
yeah, guys,
this
for this
is-
one, we're going to be breaking down: is
Danmachi
Danmachi
an
really
isekai?
considered an isekai?
Yeah, and there are, I think the writer themselves, and I think some of the people that work on the show have said no, it is not considered an isekai, but it does contain tropes. So, dude, what did you have? What in the write up that you did about this? What did you say? Because I know you had gone through a lot of the.
Yeah, this particular conversation. Again, depending on who you ask, even though it literally has everything that you would expect
Yeah.
in an isekai, it wouldn't really classify as a
True, and it doesn't follow the
Isekai.
typical it doesn't follow the typical tropes that you see with some of these guys because there are some tropes in there,
right.
but it's not a consistent thing where they
True.
consistently follow those tropes. Like most isekais, there's a consistency to it where it follows that same kind
Right,
of
and not only
yeah.
that, there's also a certain definition of what an isekai is. So
exactly with this story is like kind of all over the place.
yeah,
Would you say?
it is.
So
But yeah, basically, for those who are wondering what the heck an isekai is, what is that?
Yes.
An isekai is an anime or a manga genre where a person or a small group of people from Earth, whatever Earth that is, our Earth or whatever they classify as Earth, get transported to a universe that is parallel to their own or something completely different.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
that's pretty much what the basis of an isekai is. But in Danmachi's case, the world that they're in is already that other world, so they're not really being brought in from one place to another. The main character, Bel Cornell, is already in the world of Arion.
True. Yeah,
he's already in that world.
Yeah, he's
so
already in a world where
you wouldn't necessarily call it that.
yeah, he's already in a. He's already. Well, I don't know what the name of it. They don't really. Do they specify the name of the actual universe they're in? I don't know if they do or not. They might not. I know in the movie
I think
they
it's called Orion, but
that's in the
again,
in the movie
sure.
they specify where they are, which is. But I don't know if the actual series does. I can't remember whether they specify. Actually, wait a minute. Hold up a minute. I got a way to tell. Because we do have an episode loaded up on here. Wait a minute. Let's see. Hold on a minute. I might have to flip the mic over to so you guys can hear this. I don't think they specified though. If I remember correctly, I don't think they do. Let's see.
Well, I guess there's only one way to find out if they specify.
I don't think they do, Dante. If I remember correctly.
Just maybe.
I don't think they specified, but we shall find out. Let me turn on the sound bar.
We shall see.
Yeah, and
if we're 100% sure if that's it.
Oh, okay, so here we go. We'll find it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Let's experiment.
Let's do some experimentation, shall we?
Long is just ago, all guys. We the gods descended into the world of our children, the humans, in hopes of finding excitement and inspiration. And so, we decided that we would reside here, in the lower world, for the rest of eternity, sealing away our divine powers, and live a modest life, surrounded by all the discomforts of human inconvenience.
Oh, hey!
So there's your answer. They actually don't specify the world they're in, at least not in the first episode.
Exactly.
They just call it the lower world, which probably means that they are probably somewhere on a planet similar to Earth, I would guess.
Or something similar. It's not exactly Earth, but it's something close to it.
Yeah, exactly. Something similar to Earth. Only it's just like it's kind of a weird time zone where like there's monsters and people
you got monsters
surviving. Yeah. So it's like an alternate like an alternate reality Earth kind of.
Yeah, kind of like an alternate universe.
Yeah, monsters, magic, stuff like that, you know.
Right.
But yeah, so anyway, so that's kind of a little bit. That's kind of how it starts, right, dude?
Yeah, pretty much.
So, and that kind of does follow some of the isekai tropes, which if you look at isekai anime, there are some that do have magic.
Immediately when you think of isekai, you're thinking you're already born into this brand new world, and now you have to go on these missions to these dungeons, fight these monsters, these minotaurs, slimes.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of RPG or JRPG thrown in.
True, but it doesn't follow one specific trope like all the way through, like what you'd see with some anime. So like for example, the hidden dungeon only I can enter, right? That follows one isekai trope almost all the way through. And you can pretty much tell what that is. That's that whole gaming slash
JRPGs.
Or JRPG kind of thing.
Yep.
Where it follows that trope pretty much all the way through the show, and then also the whole thing about the password, right? The hidden dungeon only I can enter. He's just like,
let me train to become the world's strongest.
To train in secret to become the world's strongest. And she's like, that kind of sounds like a life motto. And you're like,
exactly.
He's like, yeah, that's something I would say. Yeah. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about isekai.
Pretty much.
There's like gaming slash. It could be even an ichi trope because like DxD has the whole harem that whole thing.
There's a slight bit of fan service, but it's not.
So it could be.
It doesn't really cover it.
It's not the main.
Not really the driving force.
Yeah, it's not the driving force of it, but you get what we're talking about. So with Danmachi, that's not the case, as they play on a lot of tropes, but it doesn't follow one specific one all the way through, right dude?
Right. You're basically getting the action, of course, fighting the monsters, the adventure portion. Belle's pretty much trying to get stronger, so there's definitely some character progression in there. And then, of course, you got Hestia, always supportive, the supportive goddess, who is the best.
Yeah,
Bestia
correct.
goddess.
And so guys, I know what you might be thinking. You might be thinking, and this is great. This is said by from Goddess Hestia herself. By Hestia herself. You might be thinking, well, you're like,
This is stupid. So many because you like.
and no, that's not necessarily true. The story and plot to this show has been thought out pretty well, and you can tell by the way they put everything together, that the story has been thought out very, very well. So yeah, I mean, it's very well done, and I give it its props for the way they put the story together, because not just any group of writers could do this, right, dude?
Right, that's true.
It's not easy to put together a story with multiple different tropes and bring in different elements to a story and still make it connect and still make it good. You know what I mean, dude?
Right, definitely.
We've seen other shows where they try to bring in other elements and like it just doesn't turn out well.
Or it doesn't exactly flow out the way that a lot of people would think it would.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so this is like
Danmachi's totally different.
One of the few, yeah. So, dude, get into some of the key points you brought up, Dante, about this one.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, like, if you think about it, just like we were talking about, going back to the definition of what an isekai is, Danmachi does possess a few of the elements that you'd find in your typical isekai title. A brand new fantasy world, guild members.
Yep.
Like parties, dragons,
dragon
exactly. Fodder.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the main reason why it's not really considered an isekai is the fact that the parallel world that the main character that Belle is on is not the world that he's being transported to from his own, but the world he's already living in. So basically, he's already living in that world.
Yeah, he's already in that universe or in that world.
Right. So right there immediately is pretty much one of the reasons why Danmachi is not really considered an isekai, preferably just for that reason, but there's also other reasons as well.
Yeah, correct. Sorry, I bumped the camera. I had to plug in. Our lighting was dying, so I had to plug in our lighting.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Sorry, guys.
So if we looked a little...
Yeah, we looked a little dark. That was why. Yeah.
Don't worry. The studio's bills are paid, so our lights didn't get...
That was our dark side. Sorry.
Come to the dark side.
We have cookies.
Actually...
I smell cookies. Come to the dark side. Exactly. I smell cookies. Anyway.
So, that's actually one of the reasons why Danmachi is not really considered an isekai.
Why? Because you smell cookies?
Well, yeah.
I'm joking. Yeah. No, but yeah. So, yeah. So, anyway, dude, so what else did you say, dude?
So, I mean... In the technical sense, no, but I mean, it's got a lot of RPG elements that you would find in Log Horizon or Cautious Hero.
Yeah, and
but the biggest difference is the fact of the world that Danmachi or Wario. That's what it was. That's Wario. What it was.
Yeah, that's the world in the movie.
That's the world.
So they have if you're not familiar with the show, they go by the different gods, and the different gods have different realms. Right,
yeah, so they pretty much go by the gods. Right,
dude?
Greek mythology.
Yeah, so the different gods were all in charge of different realms or different parts of. They all had different territories, different things that they were in charge of, right? And so that's kind of what the show does: is they go by the different gods and the different territories that the gods were in charge of. And so so you have to remember that it goes by all the Greek gods, and the Greek gods all had different powers and different things they did, and also they played a role in certain things. Now in this show, I'm not sure about in Greek mythology how much of a role the gods actually played. We'd have to actually do some history on we'd have to do some research on that.
There's a little more.
There's a reason that you had Greek and Roman gods, and they did play a role in something. But in this show, in Danmachi, they play more of a role. At least the gods play more of a role because they're actually on the same planet as the people in the show.
As the humans.
So they are actually playing a bigger role, bigger part. I believe, if I'm not correct, Dante, was it Hestia is the goddess of fertility, I think, or something like that?
Fertility?
I think, or no, I'm wrong. No, I can't remember, but they all have different. Every god or goddess has a different role.
Right. I know. I can't remember what Zeus. Well,
Yeah.
I know there's Zeus.
In-
I know there's Loki.
In Greek mythology, there is a Greek god called Hestia, and I believe it's the
There
god of
is,
fertility. I think I don't remember. In the anime in Danmachi, she's not. She has a different role in the
Yeah,
in the actual anime.
That Hestia is not based off of this
that
one.
Hestia is not based off of the actual anime Hestia. I can't remember what Hestia's role actually in the anime is, but yeah. So anyway, dude, tell us more about why Danmachi is not considered an isekai.
But yeah, basically one of the biggest reasons, reviewing, one of the biggest reasons is the fact that the characters themselves are already in that world instead of being transferred to that world. And although it basically has all of your, your typical isekai elements.
They do play on with the magic stuff. They do play on kind of that theory and that notion of being in another universe where there's magic, or like an alternate Earth,
right?
Where you have magic and gods and monsters and stuff like that. Kind of like your RPG, but it's not the main theme. And also because they're already in that universe, they don't have to, like what you might see with other animes. Like you might see a guy get reincarnated and then jump into kind of like the slime show, okay? Where they get reincarnated.
Yeah, you start as a regular businessman,
and then he gets hit by a car. So this show that doesn't happen. But they do play on those kind of that same theory or similar theory, and you can tell that they're kind of playing on that kind of notion. But it is not. That's not the case in this particular anime.
Right. Basically.
The other thing too is that they also do a little bit with the outfits, Dante.
Yep.
So if notice that Hestia's outfit is very revealing. At least
it's a little skimpy.
Her actual outfit in the anime
is a little skimpy.
The Chibi's outfit doesn't look skimpy, but.
Yeah.
Except for the back, her butt kind of shows.
Okay, you don't have to
but the outfits are kind of skimpy, which is playing on that kind of fan servicey aspect of most isekai shows. So that they are kind of like High School DxD with the revealing outfits and stuff like that. They are kind of playing on the fan service thing, but it's not the main piece in there. And then also some of the jokes, Dante, the show gets really comical. They do a lot of...
They do, actually.
Funny jokes in there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's a couple boob jokes. There's like a couple...
the adventure jokes.
Yeah, adventure jokes. There's one where there's a pants joke in the OVA where Belle loses his pants. Yeah, so I would call that a dick joke.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like.
There's a weenie joke in there. So they do a couple of that, and so there is a lot of different. Also, there's a couple of gaming stuff too.
Yeah, there is.
With fighting the monsters and the whole levels thing. So that's taken from Dragon Ball Z, right, with the power levels, right?
No, it's a little bit of that, and also like your typical JRPGs too.
Yeah, so they fight monsters to collect. What are their stones, right, dude?
Yeah, the little crystals.
Yeah, and they trade them in for money, which is called Valis. So that's kind of a play on your RPG or typical game type setting, right, dude?
Yeah, defeating stuff, getting experience points, and collecting stuff.
And then you're leveling up,
and upgrading
powers,
your weapons.
Yeah, magic ability, unlocking new abilities, stuff like that. The coolest thing, though, dude, I think to this story is that they bump into different. It's like, how can I explain it? It's like, dude, I would guess. I guess I would explain it as like different. Not different world, but like different areas, different places. So like there's the whole red light district and like with all
they do have a red light district.
Creepy, weird, and like sexy. Yeah. And then I don't call them whores, but they're more like hired or hired
workers.
Yeah, workers that are hired to show off their body and stuff like that. Kind of like strippers. I guess you could call
something like that.
Something like that, but they're not dirty. They're not necessarily evil. They're just after money. Yeah, usually.
They get paid to do what they gotta do.
Yeah, so there's that, and then they also have like the whole different species. So like the Shinthrope, which is like the cat-eared people, and like the different species that have Shinthropes, and they have like people like with the fox, the fox ears, and different foxes, and so the different species of different people, which is kind of cool because that also plays on some of your other anime where you see. So like for example,
let's see.
What's the shoot, dude? What's the show I'm trying to think
which
of?
one? Log Horizon?
No, the Children from Another World.
Ah, yes.
That one. That's also a
Problem
good one
children.
where, problem children, where there's different species and different people living together. So Danmachi also plays on those kind of tropes as well, where you get the animal people and that kind of stuff.
True.
And so there's a lot of different things mixed into Danmachi, and because of that, a lot of the show is not classified as an isekai because it doesn't follow just one of those main tropes. Usually like that animal thing, right, will be a theme throughout the whole show.
True.
Or like say like you have say like okay,
Besides your stomach.
Yeah, besides my stomach, which is a theme always. No, but say like, okay, so I'm trying to think of an anime where like you'd see a good the other world thing. That's a common theme in most isekai, getting reincarnated. That's a big thing. In this show, no. They might play on stuff like that.
True, but Bell's not really reincarnated.
Yeah, he's not really
already
reincarnated. There. And there isn't really another universe. They're still in the same universe, just different areas of that universe or different places in that same universe.
Right.
I kind of think of it as an alternate Earth, kind of.
Yeah, it's
because they show a big it's almost like a city almost in part of the series. And it's like there's a red light district, there's like a business district, so it's almost like Tokyo, but an alternate version.
Then you got your markets, then you got your governmental buildings.
Yeah. So it's almost like an alternate version, like it'd be like not the Tokyo we know today, but like a more primitive version of Tokyo, where you got monsters and magic and spells and.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily call it Tokyo. It would be more like one of those olden time. It's a little bit of medieval. A little bit of Greek. So it's kind of like a combination between those two.
Yeah. So it's like an in between kind of a mixed kind of universe, right, dude?
Yeah, it's
a mixture of different things. It's
a little bit of Greek mythology. It's a little bit of Rome because they also got those togas.
Well, how about
one dude got that toga?
Well, dude, how about the dungeon? That's the most interesting thing about the show is the dungeon is just literally a tower.
That's literally what it is.
And that reminds me of a lot of games.
Right.
When you're going to dungeons fighting creatures.
Well, you got Dungeons and Dragons, and of course you got dungeon crawlers. So yeah, you got that.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So the show focuses on a lot of different things, and that's also why they don't call it an isekai. And that's what makes it kind of fascinating is that the writers kind of have like free will to kind of go. They can take it in any direction, really. Right. Honestly, the show can go in any direction, which is interesting.
Yeah. So basically, guys, Danmachi is not.
It is
not an isekai.
But it is. They are getting new artwork, which I think Crunchyroll announced this recently. For the 5th season, I think they're getting some new artwork upgrades, and I think the characters are still going to look similar, but there's some new artwork and new design coming to the animation, which should be cool. So and then it's confirmed there is another season. I don't know when they're starting to dub or to subtitle the stuff, but there is another season coming. So
they're probably going to release it either next year or the following year.
But yeah,
if they already announced it.
Overall, dude, now let me ask you something, dude.
Really?
Yes, let me ask you something.
No, you let me ask you something.
Did you get into the show when you started watching it? What was your first thoughts, Dante?
Yeah, my first thought was actually, I'm like, this is a cool show.
Yeah. Because dude, you don't always watch a lot of adventure
I don't really get the chance to watch a whole lot of adventure anime, but when I do, I think this was actually the first one that you put me on.
Besides the other one with what's his name, Aladdin. Besides that one,
right?
Oh, what's the name of that show? Darn it, I can't think of the name of it.
Magi.
Yeah. It's called a. Well, there's the Adventures of Sinbad, which is the second part to the whole Magi series. But the Magi series is really good. That's also another good adventure anime where, but I believe that is an isekai. I think. I believe maybe it might not be. I can't remember. I can't remember. I can't remember how it's classified. I don't remember, honestly. It's been so long since I watched it. I can't remember. Right. But it may or may not be an isekai. I can't remember. But yeah, that's also another good adventure story if you're looking for one. So you know what's also funny is that, dude, Danmachi and shows like Danmachi kind of remind me of Pokemon. Because Pokemon is kind of an adventure story where it's like, oh my gosh, catching them all and walking through a whole bunch of stuff and looking for different Pokemon and beating bad guys, that's. So it almost kind of runs into that, and there's a little bit, and it's not much because yes, Bell does defeat people, and yeah, he does defeat. They're not really bad guys, but they're more of just like people that are out to do things that are not great. Let's put it that way.
Exactly.
And he does have a goal, and he does have kind of he wants to get stronger, and he wants to go through the dungeon and kind of unlock all of his abilities and kind of find out what he's capable of.
True.
But there's also like a mystery to the story as well because we don't know where the writers are going.
Exactly.
We don't know what the end game is.
Well,
I think in the last season he defeats a Black Minotaur, which is behind a lot of the stuff that's happened in the stories so far.
Is that one specific one?
Yeah, that's behind a lot of stuff. So and that has to do with the monsters in the story. So yeah, it gets really interesting and it's kind of cool to see where they go. I think the thing that hooked me with this show is the fact that it plays on different tropes, right? Different anime tropes.
Right.
But the fact that also the show can go just about any direction.
It can.
You never know what's
You never know what the
next,
show's gonna do, guys.
which is really, really cool.
You never really know, and that's the cool part about it. So yeah, guys, I think that pretty much wraps up why Danmachi is not really considered an isekai, even though it has the tropes.
And it does follow some of the it follows some of the things you might see in an isekai, but doesn't stick with it.
Right, so it's not really classified as an isekai. So yeah, guys.
What would you so dude, if you had to come up with a category, this is the last question. If you had to come up with a category for Danmachi, what would you call this show? Would you have like how they label anime where it's like action, sci-fi, psychological,
this one I would probably label it as an adventure,
fantasy.
There's a little fantasy in there.
Yeah,
I wouldn't call it sci-fi though, but there's a little bit of fantasy.
Yeah,
slight comedy, but only in the first season.
Yeah.
But mostly, I would basically class this as an adventure fantasy.
And also, it's also got some mythology in there.
Yep.
So yeah, fantasy. Yeah. So yeah, dude, mythological fantasy. Yeah, there's some action too.
Yep.
In the newer season, so mythological fantasy, action, adventure.
Yeah, that's what I would classify it as.
But yeah. Anyway, guys, we hope you liked this one a little bit on Danmachi and why it's not an isekai.
Yep.
There's a whole. If you want to read the actual, there's a whole write-up.
Definitely. If you want to read it, definitely head to our blog.
Yep.
We got like the whole entire write-up as to.
It's called the thing is
the D&A breakdown. Why Danmachi is not considered an isekai.
Yes. So you guys can actually read it.
And by the way, guys, do not forget. Yes. Hit that like and subscribe button if you like what we're doing.
Yes, hit on the like and subscribe button, smash it, hit it with a bottle, blast it to pieces if you're a Super Saiyan.
Exactly.
If you have to, and you are like, and you can do that shocking first bullet.
Exactly.
So,
hit it with a spirit gun or whatever.
Yeah, whatever you have to do. Smash the like button, subscribe. And stay tuned for next time because we'll have more stuff coming at you.
Exactly.
Oh, also, I want to make a really quick thing. Sorry about the late post for the unboxing. That is coming. We should have that out sometime very soon.
Yep.
So we apologize on that, but that is coming out sometime very soon. And with that, guys, we'll see you next time.
Until next time.
Peace.
Stay nerdy. Yep. And Hestia is the Bestia.
Yes, she is.